12-year-old son he's been going to Montessori. And so when you're a mom, you get thrown in there to help with reading. And I started watching Montessori very closely, and I thought, I think I'm the Montessori of tarot. Because it's really about setting up a really curious, fun environment, which is all the cards. Each of the cards themselves is a big playground. And then letting your curiosity go to where it wants to go. And it won't go anywhere that you're not ready to go. So I really trusted that. And I love that whole idea of, I'm a big one on creative authority. Just that I can trust what my own creative authority wants. Always and under all circumstances. So learning definitions wasn't going to happen for me. The question about where cards came from, we're not really sure. The first physical evidence is around the Renaissance days, 14th or 15th century. See, I really don't. Somewhere back then, it was really old. And what we do have proof, though, which I love this, the proof that at least the major arcana, there's the major arcana and then there's the four suits. There's some theories that it was just the major arcana first. Just those cards existed. And somewhere as the centuries, the suits and the major arcana blended. As a theory, we're not really sure. There are sermons back in the days where the priests were telling the people not to play the game. And they went into great detail about each of the major arcana, like this card and this card. So we have proof now, thank you. Some priest, some crabby priest gave us proof that they existed almost exactly like they haven't changed that much. There's 1,000 different ways to have images now. So when it comes to picking a deck, if you really don't know which system of tarot to pick, I would say go to the system that means something to you. If you have a real affinity to Buddhism, you might want to look at Buddhist tarot, or Celtic, or Earth. So try to stay with kind of where your passion is. What kind of imagery are you kind of drawn to anyhow, or culture? And then see if you can find, believe me, there's a deck for everything. Alice in Wonderland, baseball, bats, everything. So it's a wide open field now. I'm going to call it energy instead of psychic or intuitive. Because to me, everything's energy. So we have energy on one side and we have the imagery of the tarot on the other. And energy, I think we're all energetic beings. And the one thing that I've always watched in grocery stores, I still wait for the day when somebody would just go and just pick apples like this. I've never seen anyone ever do that. Everyone goes like this. You know, we're all energetic. We're even picking apples energetically. You know, what earrings you decided to wear today, that was an energetic choice. One of the challenges I've been giving my clients lately is don't change your energy for the next person who walks into the room. Don't shift. And that doesn't mean resist, that doesn't mean hold. It just means I don't have to accommodate all energy that comes in. I can keep my energy beautifully. Some people will come in and pull, like here, no, you have to pay attention to me, or you have to take care of me. So it's really kind of, the boundaries can get really strange with energy. So I just say stick in love, stay in love, and know when you're open and know when you're not open. Because it helps. It helps you stay grounded, it helps your sense of humor and knowing how to navigate. Then we get, with tarot, we have all this beautiful imagery, the 78 cards. They're all beautiful stories, but they're symbols, very strong symbols and imagery. And I feel like that's where intuition and creativity is triggered by symbology, by music, by art. So I would tell people, if you really, really are trying to work on being psychic, get more creative. color books, listen to better music. Don't watch TV for a while. Except for, no. Some shows you can watch. No, you just want to kind of bring that stimulation down from the outside world that just kind of keeps hitting you in the head and go to that kind of kindergarten state where you can kind of just express how you're seeing or feeling. Because I don't think you can try to be psychic. You know, you can, but it's usually just invasive. That just means you're in my business and I don't want you there. So if you're creative, then what can come to you will come. I tell students all the time that I think our linear thinking is like a dog. Like dogs will come to you if you call them. Dogs want to please you. Dogs are really curious about where you're going, and that's kind of our brain work. You know, okay, what do I need? Who's here? What do I have to do? It's our linear brain. But intuitive or creative is like the cat. Cats aren't going to come if you call them. They don't care what you're doing, you know, and it better be really pleasurable or they won't come around. So that's when I try to, if I'm going to sit down and do a reading for a client, it's like, relax, go deep in. I want the cat to come to me, you know, but that's not a guarantee the cat will. In which case, then I just trust, well, it's up to me to kind of just tell the story through the cards and trust that the energy will come in. And it usually comes in sideways, as an answer to your question. I know that energy is not coming from my head for sure when I feel like it hit me from the side. Like it's a frisbee moment. Yeah, like, you know, when something comes from the side, and I usually get those when I'm driving too, by the way. I get some of my best ideas when your brain is chewing on something else. So I would say if you're not sure if it came from your head or not, one of the things I used to tell my students is, you know, well, I don't know if it's just my imagination. And I tell people, when did that become just my imagination? It's like, God, imagination is our hook. The spirit and the human, that's where we bridge. You know, so all I can tell you is that the imagination's just the first door. There's a whole hallway of doors. So if you even think it's just my imagination, I'd go through it. That's even better than where you've been.